Hi beautiful souls, it is Karin here, the Awake Wellness Warrioress, and today I want to speak to your heart. This message is for the woman who has been holding it all together for far too long. For the one who's been strong, dependable and capable, but deep down she's tired. Tired of pretending she's okay when she's not. Tired of being there for everyone while no one seems to truly see her. Tired of being everything to everyone and nothing to herself. If that's you, I see you. And I am here to remind you of something so important today. You haven't lost yourself, you've just forgotten who you are. And it's time to remember. You see, we live in a world that's constantly trying to tell women who they should be. We're told to be soft, but not too soft, strong, but not too intimidating, caring, but not needy, independent but not too independent. We're told to look perfect, perform perfectly, and somehow hold it all together. You know, their career, their family, relationships, health, and the illusions of balance. And over time we start adjusting. We start dimming our light just a little bit. We start saying yes when we really mean no. And we start believing that our worth is tied to what we do instead of who we are. Until one day you wake up and you feel disconnected. Disconnected from your joy and from your intuition and your power. And you whisper to yourself, I miss me. You see, I've been there too. There have been seasons in my life where I completely lost touch with who I was as a woman, as a soul, as the divine being that I am. And what I did was that I played the roles I thought that I was supposed to. You know, I was looking after people. I was the big achiever. I was the peacemaker and the one who always smiled and held it together. And underneath it all, I was quietly fading. But the beautiful thing about losing yourself is that you get to find yourself again. And when you do, you return with wisdom and with grace and with a fire in your heart that you can never dim again. And that's what I call the reclamation journey. That's what it means to remember who you really are. Reclaiming your power doesn't mean becoming someone new. It means kind of peeling back the layers, you know, the conditioning, the guilt, the stories that were never yours to begin with. And it's about meeting yourself again, the raw, the real, the radiant you. It's standing in the mirror and saying, I'm not broken, I'm not too much, I'm not behind, I'm simply remembering. Because when a woman remembers who she is, everything in her world begins to shift. Her energy shifts, her voice strengthens, and her boundaries firm up, and her light becomes magnetic. And suddenly, the things that once drained her, the people, the situations, the pattern, no longer hold power over her. And that's not magic, that's not alignment, that's coming home to yourself. So I want to ask you something today. Where have you been giving your power away? Maybe it is in relationships, saying yes when the heart says no. Maybe it's in work, you overgive, you overperform, you're trying to prove your worth. Maybe it's in your own mind, you know, the constant self-criticism, the perfectionism and the guilt. Wherever it is, I want you to take a deep breath and just acknowledge it. No judgment, because awareness is the first step to awakening. And once you see where your energy has been leaking, you can begin call it back. And when you start calling your power back, you start to feel alive again. And you start to remember your essence. The laughter, that's yours. The sensuality, that's yours. The confidence, the clarity, the freedom, all yours. The truth is, you were never meant to play small. You were never meant to dim your lights to make other people feel comfortable. You were born to shine, and in that full expression, your full truth and your full power. And if it's okay that the power intimidates some people, it's okay if it does. Your power will trigger those who are still afraid of their own. That's the thing. But don't shrink because of that. You're not here to be liked, because you're here to be authentic. You're here to be the living example of what it looks like when a woman stands in her sovereignty. And you don't do that by force. You do it by embodiment. By walking as the woman that you were meant to be. So what does remembering who you are look like in daily life? Well, it can be simple. It's saying no without explaining why. It's resting without feeling guilty about it. It's about moving your body because it feels good, not because you're pushing it. And it's speaking your truth even when your voice shakes. And it's surrounding yourself with people who see your light and not your label. It's living from your intuition, trusting that quiet voice that always knows. Because the voice, that's your power and that's your truth. That's your soul remembering its purpose. And here's the most beautiful part. When you remember who you are, you don't just heal yourself, you actually heal generations. Mother's wounds, your grandmother's silence, your ancestors' pain, and you break the pattern. You actually change the story. You become the woman that you needed. When you were younger, you needed that. And you become the example that other women will look to and say, if she can do it, she can rise, so can I. That is what true empowerment truly is, because it's not about domination and it's not about control. It's about remembering your divine feminine essence. That softness, the intuition, your love. So if no one has told you this lately, you are powerful beyond measures, and you're worthy of just resting. You're worthy of joy. You're worthy of love. You're worthy of abundance because you're sacred. The world doesn't need you to be perfect. It needs you to be real. So today, make a promise to yourself. Stop apologizing for your power and stop hiding your truth. Stop waiting for permission to be all that you are, because this is your time. Beautiful soul, it's your time to rise. It's your time to remember, because when you do, you don't just change your life. You change the world. With all my love to you, it's Karin here, the Awake Wellness Warrioress. I look forward to seeing you in another video. And if you enjoyed this message today, make sure you subscribe and follow and put the notifications on, and you get notified when I've got a next video coming. Thanks.